Alright guys, Chicken Ship Farms coming back at you with what may be the perfect pistol for some of the women in your life, and even some of the more golden years people, especially with the weaker hands. This may be the perfect option. I actually picked this up from my mom. She's in her 70s. This is a new Smith and Wesson M&P EZ Slide. See that? This is in a 380. And the thing that's so great about this pistol is how easy the slide works, which seems to be an issue for a lot of the older generation, people with this, weaker hands, is how stiff some of these slides are. But on this one, it is extremely light. So this is something we picked up for her. It's in the 380, which should give her a lot less recoil than some of the other pistols she's had. And she's been using a 22, which we all frown against that, because I'm pretty sure you can stop somebody with one, but it's not what we would consider a very viable self-defense round. So I'm going to take a look at this. It's the M&P 380 Shield EZ, which is the EZ Slide. Now, this comes with a grip safety, and not all models have this. This is the frame safety. Some of you guys love it, some of you guys hate it. I personally am a big believer in this, especially for someone like my mom. She was huge on the safeties too. But this is a gun for her, so that's why I opted for that. I said with one for my wife, maybe myself, I maybe would have shied away from the slide safety, but to be honest with you, it doesn't bother me at all. I'm used to it. Like I said, you guys know from my other videos, I carry a G3, and I have for a long time. I've carried the G2 before that, and my wife's carried the G2 Millennium before that. So now all of them have a slide safety, so we're used to it. So let's take a look at it here. This is a very nice grip texture on it too. I'd say this is probably, it's not as rough as a Taurus, but it's definitely got some grip to it. Feel bad. This is an ambidextrous as far as the safety and the magazine releases go. You can switch this magazine release over to this side. Frame safety is ambidextrous. The slide stop is not. So keep that in mind, lefties. Sorry, left-handed shooters. Sorry, didn't mean to cuss at you guys like that. But it does have a small rail on the front. You guys would like to use lights and lasers and things like that. It does have a small rail. It has very bright sights on it. They're not night sights or anything like that, but they are very bright. They're easy to pick up. Has a loaded chamber indicator on the top here. And for all you guys out there, yes, it's empty. And the takedown lever here is very, very large and easy to use. I think that's something that'll definitely benefit her as well. This large takedown lever. I said I'll have to show her how to do that because she's been using mostly revolvers, and that's probably not something she's going to be doing. But like I said, it's a nice small little pistol. Comes in the box with a chamber flag. This one also came from Bud, or not this one. This one I picked up from my local gun store, the Loniga Pawn and Gun. So it was, I think it was $343 for this pistol, I believe. Now, about a year or so ago, they were running a nice range bag deal with this pistol, but I don't think you can find it anymore, where you got your ear muffs and a nice little bag and shooting glasses and stuff like that. But right now, you're probably going to see these for somewhere between $375 and $330, probably. If you're looking at your local store, that's probably where you're going to see these things, where they're running. But you'll get the gun, and it's an ATF book. You're going to get a little tool here, a little Allen wrench for something. I don't know what that's for. Yeah, I don't know what that's for. And your manual. That's a pretty nice manual. Yeah, that's nice. There's a lot of information in there. This should be your warranty cards. Looks like. Oh boy. California warnings. And yes, this is your registration card. Let's see. Okay, it's a registration card. I say you get the pistol, you get this little tool that I don't know what it's for. You're going to get a slide lock, which comes with, I think, everything anymore. And you're going to get 2 magazines. These are 8-round mags, single stack. So I do have these little, whatever these things are people like to use to help load them. And that might be something good for her. I'm not really sure. I've never used them. I've always just pushed it down. These are very easy to load, these magazines. The springs are nowhere near as tough as they are on a double stack mag. So that's something to keep in mind too when you're buying these for somebody that has the weaker hands and fingers, is will they be able to load these mags. And with the single stacks, they're a lot easier, a lot weaker springs. Alright, let's move that out the way here. Take a look at some other things with this one. See where we're at on our trigger here. Okay, we've got you, like I said, you got your grip safety here. This trigger's not going to work without a nice firm grip on here. There it is. So check the reset. Well, I didn't even hear it, but let's see if we can do that again. Barely. It's not very audible at all. It's right there. Right back. Feels like it's got a fairly heavy trigger in it. So not, you can't hear that reset at all. It's very, very quiet. Yeah, barely hear it. All right, well, let's check our trigger pull weights out here and see what we got. We're going to use our Wheeler trigger pull gauge because that's the only thing I could find. Four pounds, 1.8 ounces. This is actually lighter than I thought it felt. So I should have thought it felt a little heavier than that, but I guess I was wrong. Let's see what we got here. 4 pounds, 2.5 ounces. Well, that one was a little heavy, but try it one more time. £4, 4.2. I'm going to say it's going to be more in the 4.5 or the 4 pounds and 4 ounces if I had to guess. But it's a decent trigger. I said you got a little bit of, oh, stuff's in the way here. Got a little bit of take up here. And then you hit the wall. Nice, smooth, crisp break. I said the reset though is really not audible at all. Barely hear it. It's right there. Follow up. So it's got a fairly decent trigger. I said for what's light, definitely light enough. So definitely a safer pistol when you've got your grip safety. No trigger blade safety, but you've got your frame safety here. So you've got rear slide serrations. You got nothing here on the front. Like I said, you really don't need them for this. This is a very, 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 very light slide. So it's even lighter than the Walther CCP that we originally got from my father. And the reason we got that one was it was such an extremely light slide too, but this is much, much, much lighter. So I think this will be a perfect one for her. So I said we're gonna get it over to her, take her out, let her shoot it a little bit and see what she thinks, and we'll go from there, guys. But this is definitely a good option for someone looking for a gun like this for somebody with weaker hands. Some of your females will have the strongest hands, and definitely for the older generation, this is probably perfect. So I'm really glad to see Smith and Wesson come out with something like this for the people that really could use this. So it's, like I said, it's in a 380. So it's got enough punch for a personal protection round, and it's definitely going to have a lot less recoil than some of your 9mm, especially for this size. It's not a very large pistol. I would say it's probably close to the same size as the G3, which we can bust that out because we always have one right here handy. It's the G3C from Taurus, which has a much, much, much stiffer slide. Well, do a little size comparison here. Okay, well, it looks like the 380 is going to be definitely thinner than the double stack G2 or G3 here. You're going to get maybe 1/4 inch, about 3/8 of an inch longer there. Height wise, they're identical. Let's see, you're going to have a thinner grip because of this dual stack and a single stack here. That's a different look here. Side by side, both have the rail mounts here. Both have the slide safeties here. This has a trigger safety. This has a grip safety. So the grips feel about the same. This is definitely rougher than the M&P. But like I said, you take this, set this on top. You can see the 380. It's a good 1/2 inch longer slide than the G3. So, but there it is, guys. The new M&P 380 EZ Slide. Definitely something you guys should look into for the weaker hands and the older generation. So, I said this looks like it'll probably be a very popular option for them. Alright guys, we'll bring it back. We're going to compare this pistol to another 380 we have and tell you some of the pros and cons and what we think you guys should do if you're looking at a 380. and we'll go from there, guys. Thanks again.